So somewhere, under a lost and lonely hill of grim and foreboding aspect, lies a labyrinthine crypt. It is filled with terrible traps and not a few strange and ferocious monsters to slay the unwary. It is filled with rich treasures, both precious and magical. But in addition to the aforementioned guardians, there is said to be a demi-lich, who still wards his final haunt. Be warned that tales have it that this being, called Acerarak, possesses powers that make him nearly undefeatable. All accounts conclude that it is quite unlikely any explorers will ever find the chamber where the demi-lich lingers, for the passages and rooms of the tomb are fraught with traps, poison gases, and magical protections. Furthermore, the demi-lich has so well hidden his lair that even those who avoid the pitfalls will not be likely to locate their true goal. Only large and well-prepared parties of the bravest and strongest should even consider the attempt. And if such a group does locate the tomb, they must be prepared to fail. Any expedition must have magical protections and weapons, and must be equipped with every sort of device possible to ensure survival. And that's what you all learned before coming together and deciding, we've got this.
I was about to say, well, we're none of those things.
So you've arrived at the site of the demi-lich's last haunt. Standing before you is a low, flat-topped hill, about 200 yards wide, 300 yards long, and 60 feet high. Only ugly weeds, thorns, and briars grow upon the steep sides and the bald top of the mound. There are black rocks upon the top of the hill that you can just barely see standing at the bottom and looking up. And that's where we begin.
What time is it currently?
I'll leave that up to you guys, what time you want to arrive.
I have no preference.
Doesn't matter to me.
So this is the place the last group of adventurers, quote adventurers, came screaming from naked? Doesn't seem that bad so far.
So we'll say it's midday then.
This is the place, no? There's no entrance. Where would they have come from?
Bub just shrugs his shoulders. He doesn't know.
So what do you
so
do?
You just walk around?
Yeah, just walk up to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Standing at the base of this hill, it's steep, but it's climbable. It looks a little treacherous, but it is doable. And very gravelly. Not a lot of handholds.
Not the best for armor, is it?
So are we climbing this?
I guess so.
That sounds like a plan. I start climbing.
Right? You start climbing, you get to the top of the hill, and it's bald. Very little foliage up here at all. Just little uninviting looking shrubs and thorns. And when you get to the top, you do see in sharper relief, you see these large obsidian rocks set into the top of the hill, kind of scattered haphazardly across the top of it. So to give you a sense of how large the hill is, when you get to the top, 200 yards wide, 300 long, and you've climbed 60 feet up this gravelly side of the hill to get up here.
The elf scrambles his way to the top and says, "Ugh, I'm too old for this."
You do have a friendly Brick Roost from Treble in chat, who was one of the adventurers who ran screaming and naked from the dungeon last time we played it.
Oh, excellent.
Well, Bob also goes up there to the top.
Okay.
So are the rocks in any sort of pattern?
They just kind of be strewn about haphazardly. What do you do to actually examine them? Like, are you trying to walk around and trace a pattern between them, or...
Yeah,
Can
I'm
I-
checking to see if there's like some sort of circle.
They're definitely not arranged in a circle, no. Yeah, standing here on the top of the hill, they're just jutting out of the ground, maybe 6 or 8 inches each one.
Can I tap one with my knuckle?
You sure can. You tap on it, and it's hard as a rock.
Clank, clank.
Are there any off to the side? Like,
You mean
like,
jutting
just
out
like-
of the side of the hill?
no, I mean, like, are there any that are like noticeably farther away from the others?
There are none that seem to stand way out of the grouping, but they do seem to encompass most of the center area of this hill. But you don't find like a lonely rock. Anytime you pick one, there's usually another one nearby within a couple of feet.
I say to anybody nearby, doesn't this type of rock come from volcanoes? Or
Bub, no science.
I raise my eyebrow at that. It's like, does this really look like a volcano?
no, that's why I'm asking. Sorry, I didn't go to school to become wizard.
Error, make either a intelligence history or religion check. I'll let you decide.
Not trained in history. Not trained in religion.
Then it's just going to be an intelligence check. So just a d20 plus your intelligence mod.
5.
5. So you ask, it doesn't look like a volcano to you. It doesn't really look like anything in particular. The hill itself, you mean. All you know for sure is it doesn't look like a natural phenomenon.
So maybe the entrance isn't up at the top.
So we check the sides?
Seems reasonable.
Which side do you check? You can climb down the hill basically from anywhere. We'll just use the cardinal directions.
What side did we climb up on?
Whatever side you approach from, we'll just arbitrarily say southwest.
I think I'd prefer to climb down the same way we climbed up, and then start going around the sides there.
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
That sounds good.
Seems reasonable.
You climb back down. Yeah, you climb back down kind of the way you climbed up, and you want to just examine the sides as you go around this large hill.
Right.
Yes.
Which way do you go? Do you circle around to the right or circle around to the left?
Left.
Yeah, left.
Should we all go in the same direction?
Probably a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's split the party 3 minutes.
Instantly split the party. Yeah.
Would that have been faster than the last group?
Yeah. we gotta set some records here, right? I'll go in the front.
Okay. And what are you doing to investigate as you go? Like, are you just walking along and examining the side of the hill?
I'm gonna poke the dirt with I don't know, just a short pole. Oops, hold on. Sorry, my alarm went off. Not putting too much force into it, but just like seeing how dense the rock is.
And you take your pole as you go, and you're just kind of poking the gravel. And it's pretty easy to dislodge big handfuls of gravel and causing these little miniature rock falls.
Does it look
coming
like
down.
there was a rock slide here at some point?
It's possible.
I will make mention of that. Just
Okay.
to say, like, this is extra loose.
All right, well, let's start digging.
Where are
Yeah,
you going
Bub
to
keys in.
dig at? Because right now you're about the south end of the hill. He's been poking along for a couple of steps.
As like right where he is, I guess.
Yeah.
How wide is this gravel patch? Like, is it just a narrow, like, 50-foot strip? Or is it, like,
No,
the
it-
entire
It
side?
encompasses the entire slope of the hill that you've seen, having approached from the southwest. I mean, no one part of this gravel patch looks any different than the other, and it actually made it a little difficult to climb up to the top.
Maybe we
So,
should look for a more distinct formation on one of the other sides.
so while they're digging,
hmm
I am going to, and tell me, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I am going to cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay, so while they're kind of poking and excavating some gravel, you're casting Detect Magic?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I should have probably done at the top of the hill, but you know.
So you guys take your... What are you excavating with? Poles? Did any of you have tools? I mean, you can use your weapons.
We have like basic shovels and stuff, right?
Okay.
Do we?
And in about 10 minutes, you manage to excavate about a 10-foot wide space along the cliff face. The three of you working together until you hit solid rock on the inside. You've had to go through maybe a foot or two of this gravel. And you've excavated a little bit. And it looks very unstable. Because obviously the gravel up above is going to fall down into the area that you've excavated. But you did manage to get a path into the stone wall. Error, you cast Detect Magic and just any magical equipment you guys happen to be carrying is all you detect.
Okay.
Is the wall that we excavated the same material as the rocks up top?
It's not. The gravel and the stone side of the hill that you've managed to reach are a very boring slate gray in coloration, whereas the stones set into the top of the hill are obsidian black.
So I would suggest to the party we make a quicken the pace a little bit, just so I can, since Detect Magic lasts for 10 minutes or so, see if I can, see something along the edges or something a little bit more obvious.
Okay.
Sure. Just
If we're just
direct
hitting
us where to
rocks,
go.
then we should check out a different spot on the hill.
And as you guys march away, it only takes a minute or two before the little excavation patch that you've cleared away fills back in with a slide of gravel above it. And you circle around the west end of the hill and come along the north side. You see that instead of a sloped, gravel-covered hill, it more resembles a cliff face. Like, you would assume if you were just to slice away all of the gravel on the side of one of these hills, you'd see this cliff face. So you can't actually climb the northern edge of the hill. It is, however, still a crumbling cliff of sand and gravel, and it's about 20 feet off the ground, and you've got to go through this patch of thorns and briars to reach the base of it.
How treacherous does the stuff above it look? Does it look like it could very easily fall?
You would probably not on its own, but if you did the same kind of work you did around the south end, you could probably dislodge good portions of it and excavate towards the wall the way you did earlier.
That'll probably kill us if we do that.
But we might be the first group that dies outside the Tomb of Horrors.
I think we should keep going. Look for a better spot.
Okay, and you circle around the north edge,
Mm-hmm.
come back around, and after a few moments, when you get up around to maybe the northeasterly edge, you see the sloped gravel areas of the hill return. And it's about that time that Error's Detect Magic wears off.
So it's obvious that the north side is different somehow, just like in terms of structure. It's obvious enough, I guess, it seems to us.
Right.
Okay. Benedict will suggest that's the only side that looks unique. Should we work there like we did before?
I guess so.
Sure.
Good,
shrug.
good a place as to start as any, I suppose.
So the entire north face of the hill is comprised of this cliff face. So where are you going to direct your energies?
Right in the middle,
Okay.
I guess.
Seems
using
as
the-
good a spot as any.
Using the same tools as before?
Yeah.
I'd investigate the wall a little bit. Just quick, look around the edges.
Okay, roll an intelligence investigation check.
Okay, that is Also not trained in that. 16.
16. So you're thinking you might come across some kind of hidden entrance or latch or secret door or something. You've already walked this perimeter with Detect Magic up, so you know there's not any kind of magical entrance. But you palm the solid parts of the wall, and by the time you get across the center section that the others are getting ready to excavate, you're pretty sure there's not an entrance here at ground level. It's just solid rock, and that's it.
I don't quite think there's anything here, guys.
Well, you're checking down at the ground level. They're getting ready to excavate the crumbling sand above your head.
Ah, fair enough.
Which I should have just dropped it on your head.
So I could have been the first guy who dies outside the Tomb of Forest.
Don't worry, I have that spell prepared for you.
You probably wouldn't even be the first.
So are you excavating in the same way, kind of poking with your poles and weapons?
Yeah, I've got my great axe. I'm kind of using it like a shovel.
So some of you will have dark vision, yes? Playing elves and whatnot?
Yes.
Yep.
Do half-orcs have dark vision? I think
so.
they do. Yes, I do. Dark vision 60 feet.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah.
humans and dragonborn are the only races without dark vision. So yeah, after about 10 more minutes of work, you clear a patch of rubble away from the wall, and you open in the side of the sand about 20 feet above you after some labor a dark entrance going into the side of the hill.
There we go.
Is the top of the entrance look like it's earth or stone work or what?
Looks, do you have any kind of dark vision?
I have dark vision, yeah.
Okay. Standing here from the ground, it looks like masonry, actually.
So that it looks sturdy, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
sturdy enough.
Not only does it look stone, but I'm saying it doesn't look like a natural cave. It looks like worked stone, like it was carved by hand.
Looks like we found it.
I gesture to the hole and say, "Shall we, or shall I go first?"
Bub just walks right in.
So-
So does Woody.
Climbs up to the entrance. And go ahead and get your little tokens out.
Oh, good, it's this entrance. Hooray.
So we're going to start up here. So we have... Bub was in the lead. Actually, everybody gather up here. I'm going to have to shrink these down a little bit. These are 10-foot squares. So we're going to emasculate you guys a little bit. So each of these squares takes 10 feet of movement. I think your standard movement's going to be 30 for most of you. One of you is a monk, so it might be 40. And I will use my water bill as a bookmark. So all of you either have dark vision or you have a light source. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. That's one thing you won't have to worry about, is it being too dark. Do any of you have a light source out anyway? Or are you just relying on your dark vision? The difference between the two is if you're just using dark vision, you see in darkness as though it's dim light, which means you cannot discern shadows or colors.
I think I'd probably spark up one of my torches then.
Okay.
I'd pull out my rapier and cast the light cantrip on it
Okay.
when I get up there.
So you both have a light source out then?
Sure.
Excellent. And it's actually important because bright, brilliant colors are to be seen everywhere. The stones and pigments undimmed by the passage of decades. The floor of the corridor is a colorful mosaic of stone with a distinct, winding path of red tiles about 2 feet wide, snaking its way south down the corridor. No stonework can be seen on the walls or the ceiling 20 feet above. For some sort of cement or plaster has been smoothed over all the surfaces and then illustrated. The scenes show fields of kine grazing, a copse with several wolves in the background, Workers of various races and strange human-animal mixtures, pig-human, ape-human, and dog-human, going about various tasks. Certain of the frescoes show rooms of some building, a library filled with many books and scrolls, the door of a torture chamber, and a wizard's workroom. There are chairs, windows, boxes, bales, doors, chests, birds, bats, spiders, and all manner of things shown on the walls. And looking down this corridor, I'll give you guys about 60 feet. Seems about reasonable. So you've got this weird plaster along the walls of the ceiling. The ceiling's about 20 feet high. All these colorful frescoes everywhere, and this red mosaic tile staking its way across the floor.
The pig human makes me irrationally angry.
What's next?
Okay, so I see the red mosaic stuff on the floor,
Yep.
and it looks like a weird pattern that's different from the rest of the floor. Like that, it's that line that's on the floor there in the picture, right?
Yes, it's a tiled floor, and these are bright red mosaic tiles making up this line.
So Bub's gonna get out his staff and he's gonna poke at the red mosaic tiles and see what happens.
You rap on the floor, and it makes a sound.
And then I'm gonna try poking the areas that are not the red mosaic tile.
And you rap on the floor in front of you, and it makes a sound.
All right, well, it seems all good, and I'm just gonna walk on ahead and.
I'll follow behind him.
After you, sir.
Walking where?
Let's go with. It seems on the red mosaic tile makes sense, so he's gonna kind of walk along that as if it's the path.
Before we go any further, let me get everybody's passive perception scores, starting with Bob.
My passive is where is that? It is 14.
Okay. And what about Raz?
14 also.
And pokedude?
Uh,
It's down under
18
your
of-
ability scores.
yeah, 18.
18. And error?
With dirty cheater with a 19.
19.
Oh.
All right. So the guy with the lowest passive perception is taking the lead. That sounds excellent. So the barbarian
Bob is-
begins walking, and you're just going to follow this mosaic tile?
Yeah, I'm gonna prod the floor a little bit as I go, but yeah, I'm just gonna walk on ahead.
Make
until-
a wisdom perception check.
Okay, my perception is +4. So, where's my dice? There it is. Oh, nice, 22.
22. Try to keep your little chessmen here kind of where you're situated in the room. And as you're poking along, you get to about here before you notice something on the wall. The most outstanding feature in this location is actually outstanding. 2 jackal-headed human figures are painted so as to appear to be holding a real bronze chest that protrudes from the wall. And as you're moving forward, prodding the floor with your stick directly in front of the chest, you find the floor gives a little bit of give in this location.
What about the floor? Like would I be able to get into the chest from like alongside of it?
Yeah.
Can I? And if I poke there, nothing. It doesn't start to fall away.
Well, if you poke where?
Along the side of it.
Like along the side of the wall, you mean?
Well, alongside of the chest. Like if I want to get into the chest from standing, because if I poked in front, it started to give, and I don't want to fall into a trap. So
Okay.
I'm gonna try getting into that chest from the side.
Checking out the chests, you examine it closely, and you see that it's hinged on the bottom, so as to allow the lid to swing down. If there's a catch on the top, and you depress that, and then the lid swings down.
Oh, okay. So almost like a wall safe or something.
It is, but it doesn't look like a wall safe. It looks like a bronze treasure box. It just does. It looks like it doesn't open like a bronze treasure box.
The latch is like on the front and it hinges down.
Correct.
Okay.
You also see a poison needle trap. A needle
Oh.
sticking about 3 inches out of the wall. And it looks like with a little bit of finesse, you might be able to... I mean, there's no might to it. With a little bit of finesse, you would easily be able to open the box without disturbing this extremely obvious 3-inch long poison needle.
Okay. I get Bub's gonna give that a go.
Okay?
Maybe I should, because I'm immune to poison.
Can I
Bub-
deflect the needle with my shield or something?
But
Like,
Bub's
just to,
not
like-
scared of it. He's just gonna do it.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Hey, bear with me 1 second. So, and it's really easy. I mean, you kind of have your choice. I'll give you the option. I'll either let you, because you've spotted this trap, you can either open the box without discharging the needle, or you can open the box in such a way as to let it just harmlessly fire out.
I'm just gonna go ahead and let it harmlessly fire out.
Okay. So you tell your companions to stand back, and you're stepping off to the side, and you reach over and you depress this switch. It swings out, and you hear a tinkle sound as the needle fires off across the hallway, hits the wall, lands on the floor across from you. And standing off to the side, looking in the box, just looks like it's empty.
I'm gonna feel around for any like secret compartments.
Okay. And feeling inside of the chest, you feel a rod that protrudes vertically from the bottom. Feels like it's got a little bit of give to it.
Guess I'm gonna give that a yank.
You give that a yank, and just as you expected, the trap door in front of the box swings open, revealing a dark pit.
Ooh. That seemed a little too easy.
Bub's smart.
Yeah,
My favorite bit of this
I give some
trap,
applause.
giving that to give you an idea of how trolly this dungeon's gonna get. From the book, it says the trap door over this pit is 3 feet thick and can't be detected by sounding, and is technically not a trap, so a find trap spell doesn't reveal it.
Oh jeez.
Gary Gygax, you asshole.
Right? So you've got this hole in the floor. I'll go ahead and you guys can draw stuff on the map. You've got a pencil up here. I'll leave it up to you to mark the traps and stuff as you find them.
So just
So the trap was basically here where that 4 is.
Yeah, pretty much. That's fine.
you can edit that if you wanted a different color. Red didn't
No, that's
really
fine.
show up super well on the red map.
No, that's fine. Bub's gonna get his torch and he's gonna take a look down that hole.
Take a look down the hole.
Yeah.
It's a 30-foot deep hole, and you see spikes at the bottom.
Oh, all right.
And I cross my arms and say, well, great. Doesn't look like the red line's safe.
Then we don't walk on the red line then. Is where
Bub just shrugs his shoulders. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So where
Or
do you?
maybe that's just what they want you to think.
maybe the red line means nothing at all. Maybe we just have to find our own way.
So the rod that I yanked out of the chest, that was just like a lever that
Yeah.
triggered the trap.
Just a lever.
Okay.
You pulled the lever, and this trap door opened up.
Okay. Well, I guess we're just gonna go around that pit and avoid the red line going down the hallway.
Okay.
But I'm gonna keep poking stuff because I don't want to. In case I find another area that has some give.
Just past the pit, and I mean it's easy enough to get around it now that you see where it is. Painted in the plaster on the wall just past the box, you see a painting of a door. So we've got Pokedude taking the lead down the hallway now.
Sure.
Stop there. You get about here, And again, you notice part of the floor right in front of you has a little bit of give to it as you're poking it. There's a lot of hands all in this vicinity.
All right. Can I like just put some pressure on it with my foot and then, but not actually step all the way onto it?
Make a strength check.
Okay.
Also remember to mark the trap. Or else you'll bumble into it later and you'll have nobody to blame but yourself. And Gary Gygax.
All right. Rolled a 19. Gotta check my character sheet. All right. No, I have a 10 in strength, so that's no bonus.
So
It's
just a 19 then.
19, yeah.
Okay. And it takes some doing, but you notice the trap in the floor, and you get down and you put some pressure on it. And you realize with a certain amount of weight, it will open up. And you manage to exert some force. And you feel that this one is kind of spring-loaded. You open it up, you look down into the bottom of it. It's a 30-foot drop onto spikes, just like the first one you guys found. But after you stop exerting force, this door is going to slam shut. So anybody who falls down into this one doesn't have a way back out.
Well,
So seeing what he did, can I try to do the same thing on this tile here? Like this square? Can I try and push this square down? And
You start pushing on random tiles in the square in front of the plaster painting of a door, and none of them have any give.
okay.
And the red tile mosaic continues to snake its way down the hallway.
all right. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Gonna follow the red line for now.
Okay.
So the red line is both safe and not safe. Great.
This dungeon is totally fair, guys.
Okay, stop there. So pokedude, you make it to about here, following along the red line. And you're poking both on and off the line at this point, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you find another similar pit, the cover of which is right in between these two tiles you're standing on here. Right in the center of the hallway.
So here?
Yep.
That was terrible, but let me...
And same thing. You manage to give it some give. You look down into it. It's a 30-foot drop onto some spikes. And as soon as you release pressure from the tile, it slams shut. What's next?
Let's keep going.
Can't be too many more of these,
Hey.
right?
All right, stop right
Hey,
there.
wait. Where's Bob?
He's still
Oh.
playing with the lever back there. And then right in the center of this tile here, right in the center of the red line, you find yet another trap, identical to the other ones. Give some give to it, 30-foot drop onto some spikes. The good news is from here you can see pretty much the end of the hallway down here.
All right. Let's take a
So
look
you
what's
came up
over here.
along the wall here?
Yeah,
Pokedude?
following
Okay.
the red line.
Oh, you are following the red line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you find one last trap right here where these two jabronis are now standing.
Well, we'll get off of those.
Behold the power of 18 passive perception.
Behold non-cipher bonus.
Right. And you do come to the end of the hallway, and there are interesting things here. So, the red tile mosaic splits off. One heads to the south wall, one goes over to the east wall over here. Looking to this east, you see an archway. There's a stone archway before you, filled with a veil of thick vapors. The stones on either side of the base and the keystone protrude slightly from the stones around them. As you move to within touching distance, The left-hand base stone begins to glow yellow. The right-hand base stone glows orange. And the keystone, 7 feet above you, glows blue. On the wall before you, here at the southern end, you see a relief sculpture of a devil face formed of the mosaic tiles. The face has a huge O of a mouth, inside of which the space is dead black.
So this thing?
Yeah, exactly. This thing here is on the south wall, and then you've got the vapor-filled archway with the 3 glowing keystones.
Oh, hideous creature. Perhaps it's hungry.
What do you feed it?
Angry stares.
And this looks, other than that, looks like the end of the line.
What color were the stones? I got yellow on the left and blue on the one on the top.
Yeah, the left-hand base stone, so down by your left foot at the base of the archway, begins to glow yellow. The right-hand one on the floor level at the opposite end of the archway is glowing orange, and then the keystone in the center, 7 feet above of your head, 7 feet above the floor. I guess I don't know how tall you are. That one's glowing blue.
Okay. Is there anything around us that looks like matches those colors?
The walls, the frescoes and such on the walls are very, very colorful indeed. Make me an investigation check. And let me know where on this hallway you would like to investigate.
Immediately around me.
Like around the archway here?
Yeah, just like, I'm right here, okay. So like in this area. Okay. And I got 17.
So you search for representations of these 3 colors in a similar way, trying to correlate something in the frescoes, and you don't seem to find anything useful.
Can I go up and down the hallway, avoiding the traps, of course, and just kind of keep looking?
These are the traps you know about.
I'm not gonna try and look for traps and a puzzle solution.
Okay. You've only got a 14 passive perception.
No, yeah. It's not bad, but it could be better.
So what's next?
While he's doing that, I'm going to examine the demon face a little bit closer.
It's a devil face, not a demon face. And
devil face.
You being a level 11 Brave Adventurer would absolutely know the distinction. Actually, the distinction is really only important in Planescape. I'm still trying to get out of that mindset, sorry. It's what happens when you run the same campaign for 2 years. I mean, visually, this is what the devil face looks like here. It's got this giant gaping mouth, and it's not that the mouth is like cloaked in shadows. I mean, you guys have a torch right at your back. You've got this lit rapier. You're not casting light inside of it. Beyond the lips of this creature's mouth is just pitch black.
I poke it with my rapier.
You poke it with your rapier?
Yes.
How far in do you put the rapier? Just the tip of it?
Just the tip for now.
Just the tip. That's what she said. And you pull it back, and the rapier no longer has a tip.
Excellent.
So it's now effectively useless as a piercing weapon.
Well, I'm glad I'm not very much the stabby person. I would suggest not putting your arm in there.
Well, who's going to get the tip back? I'm just kidding.
Make a Intelligence Arcana check, error.
You keep picking skills I am not trained in. 9.
A 9. Definitely looks like this thing just ate the tip of your sword, but beyond that, you have no information about it.
I swipe my hand over the end of it, just to make sure it's like, or where the end would have been.
Oh no, you definitely got a neutered rapier. A rapier is it's only a piercing weapon, right? That you don't have a slashing.
Correct.
Well, then let's just say you do.
I've got a glorified magical glowy torch at the moment.
You can still use it as a weapon, but it's going to do half damage because it no longer has a sharpened point on the edge of it. So just make a note of that in case you decide to start stabbing your comrades later.
It's just going to kind of do blunt damage now.
Be glad it wasn't a magical rapier. Things could have gotten a lot worse.
It
What are the rest of you?
it is actually a rapier +1 is what was on my character sheet.
Oh.
Well, it's still a rapier +1. It's going to do half damage because you can't effectively stab with it anymore.
Well, it's like a 0.8 now, right?
What are the rest of you doing while Error is destroying his weapons?
Laughing at Error destroying his weapons, apparently.
You're
Which I
laughing
wasn't
at it.
thinking.
You're
I
also
didn't think it
standing in
was-
the Tomb of Horrors.
Well, I didn't think it was magical to begin with, but then I look at it, it's like, oh, it's a rapier. It's like, oh wait, that's a rapier +1.
Yeah. So you
Well.
stuck your magic weapon in there.
So I stuck my magic weapon.
I'm
It's
gonna
okay.
It's all right.
I'm gonna try poking the orange stone with my short sword.
Poking it with your short sword?
Yeah.
And you poke it. Poke.
Anything happens?
Nope.
Benedict's gonna make himself busy and just start tapping every tile, like every 10-foot square or so that we haven't crossed out.
Okay. Make me... As you're going along the path, and do you have a light source or do you have dark vision?
I have dark vision.
Okay. You start realizing you're seeing runes in the floor along the edge of these red tiles that seem to form a message, but to read it you would have to start all the way at the entrance and work your way forwards.
Is it in a language that I recognize,
It is.
which would be a common Elven or Dwarvish?
Yeah, it's in a language you can read.
Okay. What is the word? Like, what are the 5 words that are like right at my feet?
Where are you standing right now?
Here.
You read the words, "Your souls will die."
Oh, that's ominous. I
The only
make
reason-
mention of that, and I say, "Hey, this is this says something, but you may not want to read it."
The reason you're able to read it here is because one of your comrades is standing next to you with a lit torch. If you're just relying on dark vision, you won't be able to read the message because you can't discern one color from another.
I'll walk over and read the message. Like,
Yeah, I'll invite Error to come with me, and I'll just tap the floor while he reads it.
Okay.
So I guess we go back to the start.
So I'll go ahead and read the message. You guys might want to take notes as I'm reading. It says, starting at the entrance and snaking your way along, Acerarak congratulates you on your powers of observation. So make of this whatever you wish, for you will be mine in the end, no matter what. Go back to the Tormentor, or through the Arch, and the second great hall you'll discover. Shun green if you can, but night's good color is for those of great valor. If shades of red stand for blood, the wise will not need sacrifice aught but a loop of magical metal. You are well along your march. 2 pits along the way will be found to lead to a fortuitous fall, so check the wall. These keys and those are most important of all, and beware of trembling hands and what will maul. If you find the false, you find the true, and into the columned hall you'll come, and there the throne that's key and keyed. The iron men of visage grim do more than meets the viewer's eye. You've left and found my tomb, and now your souls will die.
Oh, that wasn't so bad. I just caught the end of it.
Let me see if I can...
I tried writing all that down.
I
and
don't
got,
type that
4
fast.
words.
Yeah.
I got pieces.
I very much have only.
I will paste the entire poem into the Twitch chat. And you
Excellent.
guys
Thank you. .f is afraid to blink and miss a death. I'm afraid to go to the bathroom because I'll come back and I'll be dead.
It didn't format properly, but you guys can get the general gist.
I'm not sure if it's coming through at my chat.
I didn't
I'm
see
not
it in the
seeing
Twitch
it.
chat.
Maybe it's too long to paste in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either.
Okay, I'll try,
Yeah, just break it
I'll
up.
try
In the...
pasting it in the Discord and see if it takes. There we go.
There
That
we
works.
go.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
there.
If one of you would be so good as to paste each stanza in the Twitch chat so the viewers can try to decipher them. I'll also point out that our first group did not find this poem.
Oh. They were just using dark vision the whole time?
I try to remember. I don't think anybody took a very close look at the mosaic tile on the ground. They just saw it was red and followed it.
Oh.
So go elf.
So does that mean we lost part of the message by setting off this this chest trap?
No, because you could reach into the lever and pull the door open or pull the door closed again.
Ah.
This door is not the first one you found in front of the box up here. Is not triggered by weight. You just use the lever to open and close the door.
So I can see why it is not called the Tomb of Fluffy Bunnies.
And pancakes and marshmallows.
There are 0 pancakes in this dungeon. Unlike NetHack, which has many pancakes. So you've got the horrible sword-eating devil, and you've got this misty archway with the 3 glowing stones. And as you guys move back to the entrance to begin reading this message, you notice the 3 stones of the archway, their glow fades as you exit their proximity. And what's next?
I need to use the restroom, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm just going to examine this wall, and I'll be right back.
Bub is just still staring very confused at the colored things around the archway.
And when you get close enough to them, they once again start glowing, the same colors.
And that was red, orange, and yellow? What was it?
No, yellow is down by your left foot.
Okay.
Right is the stone down, or your orange is the stone down by your right foot. And then the keystone in the center of the archway above your head is glowing blue.
Okay.
And you mentioned pictures on the walls as well. I seem to remember you said one of them was a door?
There's a door painted right about here, just next to the chest. And you go over and you put your hands to it, and it's just the plaster with door painted on it.
Bubba's gonna try pressing the orange.
And you put your hand to it, you manage to depress the stone slightly into the base of the archway.
Okay, and nothing happens after I do that?
Nothing happens.
I'm going to go and cast Detect Magic as a ritual again.
Hey, where are you doing the actual casting?
I do it next to my my good friends
Okay.
who are going to die with me.
What are the rest of you doing for the next 10 minutes while he's casting this spell?
Bub is still staring at the thing, scratching his head.
So you've pressed in the orange one on the right?
Yeah.
So
My thinking here is that I looking at the poem, like I see shun green if you can, and I see two colors there, yellow and blue make green. So I'm trying to. I was kind of hoping that orange might do something.
An interesting
But,
deduction.
But it looks like we got to do something else.
I'm gonna push in the blue one.
Okay, you reach up over your head and put your hand on the blue one, and yeah, you depress it. The stone slides in an inch or so.
And still nothing happens.
Still nothing.
Now, can we pull them back out?
How are you trying to do this?
I don't know, maybe stick my sword in there and try to wedge it.
You try to wedge your sword. In which one? The blue one or the orange one?
The blue one.
Okay. Yeah, you're trying to wedge your sword, and you just can't get a good angle on it. Looks like once you've depressed the stone, you're not going to be able to force it back out.
Right then.
Bub goes ahead and presses the yellow one.
And you depress the yellow one, it slides in about an inch. Then a moment later, all three stones slide back out.
There we go.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Any luck over there? I'm still looking for colors on the walls and thinking about the poem.
Bub head hurt.
Just give me another minute or so. I know this didn't work last time, but
Okay, everybody, are you guys just going to wait until Air's spell goes off?
I'm gonna try yellow and blue. Just push both of them in.
Okay, so you push the yellow one in, then the blue one?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing happens.
All right. Yeah, I'll just wait then.
And Air, your detect magic goes off. Everywhere is radiating magic. The whole place is giving off,
my eyes!
magic. Some areas more strongly than others. Obviously, the misty archway in front of you is giving off a very strong abjuration and transmutation magics. Whereas the devil face, I don't think it tells me what kind of magic. Nothing good.
Bad magic.
It's basically an orb of annihilation.
It radiates an aura of... Oh, it does. Of transmutation magic. Yeah, okay, so Devil's Face is giving off transmutation. There you go. So right now, the yellow and blue stones are depressed, and the Devil Face looks on unhelpfully.
I don't know where my character went.
Probably fell in a hole somewhere.
Oh. Game over. Return of Ganon. You're gonna have to make me a new one. I don't know what happened.
What did you do with him?
Your little red man's?
I moved him over one of these X's, and then he was just gone. No, I don't know what happened to him actually.
All right, be more careful with this one.
Oh. Sorry, boss. How do I make him smaller?
Oh, I found him. I found him. We got two red guys now.
Oh, we'll just put them off to the side for when I need them off.
We have one giant red guy, though.
So the next time I frag this up, it'll be fun.
One benefit to this tomb is there are no random encounters, which is nice.
So, what's on all the? You said all these walls look like rooms. Or all the mosaics.
You found one painting of a door in part of the mosaic.
Where was that?
That was up here, just south of the box in the wall.
I took a look, but I didn't take a very close look.
Yeah, when
Can
you
someone
look at it, it's just a door painted in the plaster.
But it's the only such painting that actually looks like, hey, this could be a door, except it's just a painting.
Right. I mean, you see all manner of other creatures and objects painted all up and down the walls, but that one is painted like a door. You see some areas of the wall are painted to look like various types of rooms, like a library. The door you're looking at here looks like the door to a torture chamber.
Are there like windows or anything I can?
No,
not actual windows, but things that are painted to look like other portals that you would go through?
No. This torture door
Just
is
this
the only
one.
one.
And while my spell's up real quick, I pass along the room back to the entrance to see if anything stands out.
And you have light on you, right, Error?
Yes.
No, nothing else
Can you-
stands out as you go up there.
Can you shine it on this wall? Like, does it look the same, like, material, or is it the same texture, or is it even the same flatness?
I shine it up next to the wall door, and since my magic rapier's already broken anyway, I tap it against the wall.
Okay. And
Door wall.
whereas the outside cliff was a solid stone, inside of here, it's obviously a stone structure, but the floors are covered in the mosaic tiles. The walls and the ceiling are covered with a layer of plaster. So, I mean, you're able to tap your sword against it, but it doesn't feel any different from any other section of wall.
I put my hand on what should be like the door knob.
I mean, it's just a flat section of wall, so you put your hand flat against the...
Can I push into it?
It's actually not a knob on the door. What it is that there's an iron bar painted across the door to keep it... I mean, if it were a door, you wouldn't be able to open it from the inside. You'd have to lift this iron bar off of it. But again, it's just a flat painting.
Huh. Awful realistic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have we checked the bottoms of the last 3 pits?
You've looked down into them.
And
Shined your
didn't
light.
see
Each
anything
one
They're
looks-
interesting?
probably all just spike pits.
Yeah, each one was about a 30-foot drop with spikes at the bottom.
Okay.
So part of the poem, I guess you'd call it, said something about, what would it say? 2 pits along the way will be found to lead to a fortuitous fall. There's 5 pits here.
Mhm.
So any luck with the crystals? It's abjuration and transmutation.
Yeah, what's radiating strong magic are the mists themselves.
Ah.
The vapors filling up the archway. Abjuration and transmutation.
I poke my sword into that.
Into the vapors.
Yes.
Poke your sword in and wiggle it around a little bit. You kind of half expect it to touch the wall, just a few inches in, but you don't. You just see the sword disappear, and when you pull it out, it's still intact.
Well, that's a better result than last time.
So what's next?
I pushed the final crystal in.
You push in the orange one. You guys push yellow and blue. Push in the orange one. And the vapors mysteriously vanish.
Oh, what did you do there?
I figured it out, guys. I realized it wasn't solid, and so it's like I figured it was, it's an illusion magic. I could tell that through my
Bub thought that me was smart, but you smartest of all.
But it appears that the archway, there's a hallway going off to the east through it.
Can I, like, peek around and look inside it?
Just the stone hallway continuing off to the east. Looking at the floor, you can see the red mosaic tile continues through the archway down the hallway. So stepping through this archway, it's about 5 or 6 feet wide, but the red tile mosaic path that you guys had been following only takes up a portion of that. So
Does
going
it
through
go... Oh, sorry.
Going through this archway, you'd have the option of following the red path as you have been or walking off of it.
So is this tile supposed to be gone then? Since we can now supposedly see into it?
It's possible.
Maybe. Maybe not. Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna poke my head in. And...
You poke your head in, and your head is now poked into this eastward going hallway.
And you're decapitated. You're dead now.
Game over.
And you pull your head back out. You do the hokey
Useful.
pokey.
Pokey pokey do.
Turn yourself
Trying to,
around.
follow the red path as best as possible.
You guys are following the red path along?
Mm-hmm.
I want to peek in the room and see if there's any more words on the mosaic tile.
You do not see any. The message seems to end right where you're standing, where the two paths diverge.
Okay.
Where does this path go that goes to the south? Does it go up into the demon's or devil's mouth?
It ends
or...
it's only on the floor. It doesn't snake up the wall and go into its mouth. But yeah, that's where it ends, is right underneath this thing's mouth. You gonna climb in?
No, but can I examine the wall around it?
Sure, make an intelligence investigation check.
5.
5. It's just you see the tiles of the floor meet the plaster of the wall, and that's it.
Bub's gonna take a look at some of the. He's gonna go along this this right wall here until he's looking for mosaics. And you said that they're all kinds of different colors, right?
Oh yeah, as long as you're holding a light source, you can see the colors. Much more colorful than you expected a Tomb of Horrors to be.
I'm gonna be looking specifically for red ones.
There's a lot of red things painted into the walls.
It's just
yes.
everywhere. It's
Yeah.
like there's not like a section that's green and a section that's red or anything like that.
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
What next?
So,
I didn't come here to be super scared. I go into the room.
Now, are you following the red tile?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to put you here for now. What about the rest of you? You guys watch Error, and as soon as he walks through the archway, you see him vanish. You still see the hallway going off to the east, and you expected to watch him walk down this hallway, but that's not what happens. As soon as he breaks the plane of the archway, he's gone.
I immediately turn around and stand before the door and go after him.
Okay, so you're following the tile path as well?
I do what he did.
Okay, what about the rest
Or
of you?
what I think he
I'm
did.
following too.
Bub's gonna see them all disappear, and he's gonna try to call out to them to see what just happened.
Okay. And none of you hear Bub calling at you from behind you. Possibly because all three of you are now dead. Possibly.
Hooray! It was a good run, guys.
This is where we need Bub to make a decision.
All right, well, he's just gonna shrug his shoulders and go because Bub's not scared.
Bub's not totally not scared, you guys.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I got us all killed.
We phased into a wall. Ooh.
Go ahead and situate yourselves in this tiny little room here.
Ooh.
So I was second to go in, so I'm just gonna be right behind you. Whoever went first.
I went first.
Okay, yeah, I'll be right behind you then. I turn around though and look at where we came from.
Let me make sure I put you in the right room here.
Oh,
Pretty sure I did.
I'm gonna be
wait,
right back.
you really meant to put us in room 57.
Right. Yes, exactly.
I have no idea how high it goes. I'm just...
This small room holds what appears to be a statue of a gargoyle. 8 feet tall, with 4 arms. 2 of the arms come off of its shoulders. One of the arms comes off the back of its neck, in between its shoulders and its outspread wings. One of the arms is broken off and lies on the floor in front of the statue. And roll initiative.
Oh! I did
I
one of those
don't
things.
have my dice. Let me go grab those. All right, here's the fun part.
Yay!
That's how much damage we took.
That's a lot of bad guys.
Uh-oh, I just went to the bathroom and came back to the sound of many dice rolling. What is happening?
Roll
Yeah,
initiative.
we're rolling initiative.
Oh boy.
He described a 4-armed gargoyle, except one of the arms is on the stone gargoyle, but one of the arms is on the floor in front of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put a gargoyle
Okay.
in the room.
I've got 20 for initiative.
Oh, I'll ask in just a second.
Okay.
So I'm gonna record it on screen so everybody can see.
Gotcha.
So gargoyle in the corner of the room. In the wall at the floor level opposite the gargoyle, so in the southern wall of the room here, you see a little crawl space. And it's just solid wall behind you, by the way. There's no archway back. What's Bub's initiative?
20.
And Razanir?
8.
8s. And pokedude?
8.
8s. And error?
10.
10. So you got this hideous gargoyle statue. Bub, what do you do to it? You win the initiative.
Well, it's moving, right? It's clearly not a statue.
It's not moving. Hasn't moved yet.
Oh, it's not moving at all. Okay, well, Bub's gonna kind of. Well, you know what? Bub would probably still hit it, so he's gonna hit it
Okay.
because it's kind of freaky.
Roll to hit.
Oh, 17 plus 8, so 25.
25 will hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
What is my plus there? That's 6 plus 4, so 10.
Okay, you lunge forward. What are you attacking with?
My great axe.
Great axe. You lunge forward with your great axe, deal the thing a mighty blow, and it crashes against the stone of its chest. You can see a huge gash that you've left in the thing. Error, you're up.
Well, I sit back, like, whoa, what's going? I know it's scary, but
Look, I know that I'm always saying that I'm not scared, but right now I am scared.
He's scared on the inside. So what is Error doing this turn?
so I'm assuming that the gargoyle.
Yeah, did it react at all? Like it got a gash, but did it move like at all?
I mean, the thing shook and vibrated under the force of your blow.
But it's still just sitting there, almost like it's a statue.
It's standing there with its hands outstretched, and its wings unfurled.
Okay.
I'm not going to be scared of it yet. I'm going to investigate the room.
Make an intelligence investigation check.
Oh, I'm still not any good at these. Oh, that's a 17.
A 17?
Yes.
You start investigating walls and floors of the room around you. Gone are the colorful mosaics. Now it's just kind of standard stone masonry along the walls. And, I mean, a minute ago, you took 2 steps through this archway, found yourself in this little room, and the wall behind you is solid. You put your hands against it, and it's just the cold stone of the hill. Pokedude, you're up.
Yep. I have this thing that's good for stone enemies, but it's going to hurt everyone else, so I can't do it.
Yes, please don't collapse the chamber on us.
I'm just going to attack with my short sword.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Sorry, that's... Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to read this. 11.
11. Okay, roll damage.
Okay. Alright, that's 11 damage.
We are now 1 hour into the Tomb of Horrors, and you guys made it to the end of the first hallway. Good job.
Sweet.
Yay!
Yeah, you strike out with your short sword, and again, you damage this thing along its chest, but it does not react. The good news is now you're absolutely standing right in its reach. Razanir, what's up?
Well, I have my shield out,
Okay,
but is it reacting at all to anyone's weapon strikes?
it's not. Still hasn't moved.
Still hasn't moved.
Still has
Can
the
I
same
get-
pose.
Can I get between it and everyone?
You can kind of push them out of the way if you want, but I mean, they're still going to be standing within this thing's striking distance, unless you.
Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to be like aggressive about it. I just want to protect people.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, you can interject yourself in between the two.
Yeah, I'll try and do that sort of, but I'm not going to swing at it. I don't even have my weapon drawn yet. But I say, so I say to the half-orc behind me who's scared, I say, "Don't worry. If you stand close to me, the power of my god will protect you, but not too close. You smell after all."
Buff sniffs his armpit.
And I just hold my shield up and peer over it, looking at what would be its eyes.
So what you could do in a situation like this is you'd be taking the dodge action if you're just taking a
Yeah.
defensive stance. Okay.
Yeah.
And the gargoyle doesn't do anything because it's just a statue. What were you guys even worried about?
Okay.
It was freaky, and it was not immediately obvious it was a statue to Bub.
So the only other things you see in this room are the fourth arm of this absolutely non-living, not moving statue, broken off and laying on the ground. And you can see the stump of it up over its right shoulder. And then you got this little crawl space that snakes around through the southern wall here.
Can I fit in that space? I'm a big elf.
Everybody's going to be able to fit into it, but you'd have to squeeze through it unless you're a small creature. I think you all are medium, though.
So in hindsight, just walking through the archway may not have been the most wise of decisions, but hey, at least we're making progress.
Error. Because your spell is still up, the gargoyle and the arm laying on the ground are radiating enchantment magic. What squeezing means, if you go through this crawl space, you move at half speed, and that's pretty much it. 'Cause you got to get on your hands and knees and crawl through.
Although in hindsight, guys, maybe you attacking the gargoyle was prudent, because at least at some point in time, this was likely a magical construct or something. It's radiating enchantment magic. Then I reach down and I examine the fallen off arm.
Okay. Looks incredibly heavy. I mean, it's a solid stone arm, and this thing is monstrous. But it's just laying there with its claws outstretched, palm up.
So it's the arm that's on the floor. It's clearly like the gargoyle's missing arm, like he's missing an arm, and there's a spot where he should have an arm.
Yes, and in the center of its arm area, as you get down and look at it, right in the center of its palm, you see carved out a depression inside the hand, and it doesn't look like damage. It looks like it was meant to be that way. Something small,
like-
maybe about as big around as a coin.
Do we want to try putting the arm back on the gargoyle?
I'm going to pretend I at least have a few coins with me, and I put a gold piece in his palm.
You put a gold piece in its palm, and it doesn't really fit inside of the shape of the recess. It's coin sized, but not coin shaped.
Ah,
But nothing happens.
well, I pocket my gold coin again.
Okay. And what's
So guys, check this out. Have you seen anything like this? What do you think would fit in here?
You can try the rapier again.
Make
You know
a-
what? Why not? I
Just poke it with your
I
broken rapier.
poke it with my broken rapier.
I'll let the group make a intelligence investigation check because all of you are trying to solve this conundrum. So one of you make the roll, but make it at advantage because you're being aided by your allies.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to do that. Mine is 0.
Mine's -1.
Mine's -1.
Well, I guess I'm doing this with my whopping +2.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, make the check at advantage.
You're the best. You smart.
13.
A small stone or gem would fit in the recess perfectly.
We don't have anything like that,
Yes,
do we?
Bub no have gem, yeah.
Did we see anything like that?
You haven't seen any so far.
Okay.
We came here for treasure, not put some treasure in here.
That's how they get you.
So you said there's a crawl space?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
opposite the gargoyle in the south wall here. You gotta get down
And
on your
that's-
hands and knees to crawl into it.
And that's the only other thing in the room besides the gargoyle?
That looks
And
like
he's-
the only manner of egress from this room.
Alright, Bub's gonna stick his torch down in there and take a look.
Take a
See
look.
if he can see how far it goes.
It looks like it goes forward maybe 8 or 10 feet and then turns sharply off to the left.
I guess I'm gonna go in there.
You're gonna crawl in.
Yeah.
Okay.